The United Kingdom's Ministry of Defense latest intelligence update on Ukraine, November 1, 2023. Russia's Lancet small one-way attack uncrewed aerial systems have been one of Russia's most effective new capabilities in Ukraine over the last 12 months. The Lancet is designed to fly over enemy territory, wait until it identifies a target, then dive towards the target and detonate. Lancets are manufactured by the Zala Aero Group, which also makes the small, unarmed Orlan-10 uncrewed aerial vehicles that Russia often deploys alongside the Lancet to spot targets. Ukraine has also had success with small, one-way attack uncrewed aerial vehicles. Russia uses Lancets to attack priority targets, and they have become prominent in the key counter-battery fight, striking enemy artillery. Traditionally, Russia used small, uncrewed aerial vehicles, mainly for reconnaissance, but the Lancet's attack capability has been a step change in how Russia uses this category of weapons. Ukraine's Armed Forces General Staff Update. Day 616 of Russia's attempted full-scale invasion of Ukraine continues. Russia conducted 43 combat engagements, 59 airstrikes, 36 multiple launch rocket system attacks, and 3 missile strikes. Ukraine shot down 18 Iranian Shahed drones. Civilian areas were damaged. Situation remains active in the east and south. No major changes on other axes. Russia unsuccessfully tried to regain ground near Klishchiivka and Avdiivka. Assaults near Marinka and Staromayorsky also failed. Ukraine continues offensive operations near Melitopol and Bakhmut, inflicting losses on Russia. Ukraine conducted 9 airstrikes on Russian troops and equipment, and 3 on air defense. Missile forces hit Russian radars, command posts, air defense, and artillery. The Institute for the Study of War Russian Offensive Campaign Assessment. Ukrainian Commander-in-Chief Zelenskyy says the war has taken on a positional nature and is gradually moving to a positional form. Zelenskyy attributes this to military parity between Ukrainian and Russian forces, which makes deep penetrations of Russian lines unlikely. He acknowledges a stalemate similar to World War I due to the technological and tactical parity between the forces. Zelenskyy says Ukraine overcoming this parity depends on gaining air superiority, breaching Russian mine barriers, increasing counter-battery combat effectiveness, creating training reserves, and building up electronic warfare capabilities. He offers recommendations for Ukraine to restore maneuver to the battle space. Zelenskyy stresses this is a positional war rather than a full stalemate due to the parity between forces. He says dramatic Ukrainian penetrations of Russian lines are not possible currently due to the relative equilibrium in technology and tactics. The Institute for the Study of War key takeaways today. Russian forces likely preparing for attritional infantry assaults on Ukrainian positions near Avdiivka. Failure to apply lessons learned to other Russian forces indicates issues disseminating knowledge. Ukrainian forces continuing offensive operations near Bakhmut and western Zaporizhia. Shoigu reiterating Putin's framing of Ukrainian activity in Kherson as a counteroffensive. Large Russian drone and missile strikes mainly on Poltava Oblast overnight October 31st to November 1st. Russia appears to re-establish military districts as primary joint headquarters. Speculation Pavel Prigozhin now heads Wagner Group under Rogvardia. Russian forces continued offensive operations along several axes and advanced in various sectors. Jake Bro Update. The estimated death toll fighting for Russia in Ukraine is now over 300,000. This includes regular Russian military, private military groups like Wagner PMC, and Ukrainian citizens from Donbass forced to fight for Russia. A mob of Russian men stormed airports in Dagestan hunting for Jews on a flight arriving from Tel Aviv. Ukrainian President Zelenskyy condemned this as part of Russia's widespread culture of hatred. Russia is growing closer with Hamas as it tries to inspire global jihad against the West. A Hamas commander said after killing Jews, Christians are next. This is a dangerous strategy for Russia. In Bakhmut, a Ukrainian defender says the situation is not like Lyman. Defenses are stronger, and Russia has only made marginal gains to the north. Ukraine destroyed more Russian air defense systems in Crimea and Luhansk. A bipartisan U.S. congressional delegation visited Zelenskyy in Kyiv. Another 61 Ukrainian troops began Patriot training in Germany. Ukraine Matters Update. Ukrainians have reportedly found a way to get equipment across the Dnipro River near Kherson. In Avdiivka, initial Russian armored pushes allowed them to reach the railway, but getting past it has been difficult due to effective Ukrainian artillery and cluster munitions targeting Russian attacks. The elevated ground near Avdiivka, called Tarokhan, does not provide much tactical advantage and is dangerous for troops. Russia is struggling to take Avdiivka with waves of inexperienced stormtroops, followed by more experienced mobilized soldiers. The second wave is often refusing to attack if the first wave fails to fully capture positions. Videos show Ukrainians operating over 1 kilometer deep in supposedly Russian-held areas near Avdiivka, undercutting Russian offensives from the north. This creates problems for Russia, though likely won't result in major Ukrainian gains. The article in Time magazine about Zelenskyy and Ukraine is an opinion piece, not meant to be objective. The author, Simon Schuster, has a history of pro-Russian views. Schuster implies Zelenskyy is excluding negotiated solutions with Russia, but the author argues there can be no negotiations with an aggressive Russia. Schuster cites anonymous aides criticizing Zelenskyy, but these are actually comments from former Zelenskyy advisor Alexei Arestovich, who is turned against Zelenskyy. Schuster paints Zelenskyy's anti-corruption efforts in a negative light, but Zelenskyy is right to strongly fight corruption. Schuster suggests Zelenskyy ignored issues with Defense Minister Reznikov, but Reznikov helped secure weapons for Ukraine, so the calculation to keep him was complex. Schuster claims GOP opposition means support for Ukraine would fail in U.S. House, but this is untrue. Most Republicans still strongly back Ukraine aid. Schuster's article is biased, manipulative, includes falsehoods, and aims to undermine trust in Zelenskyy.